Shay, West Indies women taking the first straight this summer at home against South Africa. You know once that first ball's bowled, it's game on. Full of energy from the start.
For real, Haley. The fans already lining up. Flags waving, drums beating. Because when we home, we full of energy. Let me add in quote Sammy real quick. See what the vibe is.
Shay, Skipper, I was just about to call you. This will be a summer to remember. Action package with T20s, ODIs, and Test cricket. The tickets are now available. We bring in the fire, and the fans bring in the vibes. But we're missing that extra spark. Hold on, I know who to call.
Coachman Sammy, you know I'm always ready. Always play.
Teja, we heard you're the man with the vibes for this summer.
Hi, I'm Roston Chase, the new West Indies Test captain. It's a great privilege and honor to continue this legacy of West Indies cricket. The team's first assignment under my leadership will be against Australia in the Full of Energy Men's Home Series, with 3 matches being played in Barbados, Grenada, and then Jamaica. So Maroon fans, please come out and support. We need your energy, we need your vibes. Get your tickets at windiescricket.com.
And welcome to a sun-bathed Darren Sammy cricket ground in lovely St. Lucia. We are getting set for a slightly delayed start on day 4 of this unofficial test. West Indies A versus South Africa A. West Indies A resuming in their second innings, 251 for 6. They still trail by 109. Claudius Emmanuel saying good day to all West Indians in the diaspora, in the archipelago of the Caribbean, in South Africa as well, where we are into late or early afternoon. And we also say good day to Reds Pereira, who's with me. 251 for 6 Reds, 4 wickets standing.
Yep.
Question is, how long can the next 4 wickets extend this game?
Well, this is a game called cricket, right? Don't forget the Atkinson, the Pisa stand against Australia. If I can be really ambitious.
So you're talking partnerships.
Yeah. Well, it was just the Pisa and Atkinson, huh?
Well, here, West Indies A with 4 wickets left. Ronaldo Ali Mohammed not out on 34. He has faced 32 deliveries. Carrie Pierre, 10 deliveries, yet to get off the mark. And still 109 in deficit. Andre Coley and the West Indies staff, West Indies A staff, Reds, would want those 2 batters to put their heads down and bat for the whole of the 4th day.
That bat is not really in the nature of Ali Mohammed. Because all season for Guyana, he has come in when they were in trouble and counter-attack.
First delivery of day 4, Tristan Loose to Ali Mohammed, short lifting delivery, and that has, well, hit him on the hand. It looks like delivery that
the right hand
jumped from nowhere. One of his hands, Reds. It's not quite clear. He's down on his knees. We'll look at it on the replay, and that has come back, and looks like it's the right hand ringing it away. And
gotta worry if there's a little bit of a crack. We hope that he's okay.
Getting assistance from the physio. Yes, the right hand. And that seemed to have jumped off a goodish length. It's a 4th day pitch, and maybe hitting the edge of a crack or something.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, the pitchers behaved, 99% good. 1 or 2 kept low.
And let's look. Ali Mohammed going off, it looks like.
Must be paining.
A painful blow to the right hand. Yeah. If we could maybe get that again from our production person, Dylan. Short. And seemed to, just hit maybe some sort of area on the pitch where there might have been a ball mark or some sort of depression, hitting the edge of that, and then into the right hand of Ali Mohammed.
Yeah. Well, I told a story yesterday of the English batsman who played against Australia and went to hospital 3 times, came back to the ground, again got hit, and managed to get 100.
Ali Mohammed having to go off, so retired hurt. Very first ball of day 4. Not a good omen for West Indies.
No, not a good omen.
As Johan Lane, number 57, coming out to replace him.
That was not in the recovery script.
Not at all. That came from nowhere. And really out of character, because we have not seen anything of the like over the previous 3 days. Yeah. So an unfortunate start to day 4 for West Indies A. Ali Mohammed struck on the right hand by the first delivery of the day from Tristan Loose, and then having to retire hurt on his overnight total of 34, and being replaced by Johan Lane. who comes in to join Pierre, who's yet to score. So both batsmen are not. Pierre having faced 10 deliveries yesterday. West Indies a 251 for 6. They trail by 109. Slip, wide for slip in a second slip position. Gully, squarish cover, extra cover, mid-off. Loose to lane. Delivery that is right up into the off stump, pushed away to mid-off.
The key
No run.
to Mohammed's injury is whether they can, without going to the Polytechnic to get a quick X-ray to see whether there's a crack. If there is none, well, ice in your eyes.
Loose to lane, delivery coming into him and hit on the pad.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a doctor on duty, ambulance on duty, so there is medical support.
Yes, and if necessary, he can be taken to the nearby facility, not too far away from here in the town of Grosley.
Yeah, and I think now it's open 24/7.
Yes, indeed, it is. Loose to lane. Goes back, and once a single, it's not on, sending back Pierre. 251 for 6. Loose. This is his 15th over. 14 overs, 2 maidens, 2 for 76. Interesting to see who Ackerman is going to bring on at the other end. Loose operating from the northern end at the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground. Short delivery played in the air, but will fall safely. Senokwane was looking to get close to it from square leg, not able to arrive close enough to it to make the catch. 252 for 6. Lane calling for some assistance from the dressing room. Short delivery that had him flinching, and some sort of padding coming out for him. Looks like the forearm guard. Is it?
It always goes through my mind.
Correction, Reg. It's actually the chest pad. Or the rib cage pad.
Yeah. No forearm guard, though.
No forearm guard. So just tucking that under the left breast. No, in fact, that has come out for Carrie Pierre. So going under the right breast. He's a left-hander.
I like the run of Luch. Nice, relaxed, very athletic. You know, it doesn't chip. Nice coordination. Relaxed run. You can have a look at that. You're a former fast bowler.
Yeah, young man, nice, easy action.
Yep.
Good rhythm coming in.
Yep.
To Pierre. Short, and Pierre ducking under it. And into the gloves of Moon Sami to finish the first over of day 4. Quite an eventful one. West Indies picking up 1 run. But suffering the injury to Ali Mohammed.
The morning was eventful because to get the kind of sun we started with, there had to be that rainfall just to get that cloud out of the way.
Rain was around, in fact, delaying the start by about 10 minutes. And play eventually getting off. I think based on the weather, I think we look good for the rest of the day. Over number 2 on day 4, spin. Prenalin Subrian, 27 overs, 7 maidens, 3 for 71 is going to come into strike. And Lane will come into bold. Subrian, Lane in strike.
Jason, halfway.
Pair of West Indians walking below us to our left, and a pair of South Africans walking away to our right. They're patrolling the boundary. Jerome Taylor in conversation with John Campbell. No! As Lane whipping that. First delivery of the second over of day 4 out to the deep mid-wicket fielder. Quishele is there, and Lane doubling his score with the single, 253 for 6.
You know, before the ICC security rules, you could have called a telephone number and get a report. Now nobody's going to answer you.
Because their phones have had to be put off.
Yes, exactly.
Round the wicket to Pierre.
Yeah, good start.
Forward. Playing to
They're going to block out today, boys.
Senokwane.
How many more blocks?
Midon being pushed to his left.
Yeah.
And Pierre
Good start.
playing defensively. Munsami already in good voice behind the stumps. In earshot of Pierre, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Flighted. Pierre pushing forward. And there's no run. The short leg, Pretorius, going on the other side of the pitch, going to silly mid-off. Mid-on coming in.
And very silly.
Backward square leg coming into the circle, so to speak. And Subrian will come in round the wicket to Pierre. And he's struck on the pad. The ball is heading down the leg side. Now being confirmed by Basaraf, Munsami and company there. Loud shout. Good appeal, but maybe with the angle, ball sliding down. In fact, that's what Mr. Basaraf said.
Oh, my God.
Forward goes Pierre. Looked to be in control, although if you were to listen to Munsami's reaction, you would think that he was in a whole lot of trouble. He wasn't. The over coming to an end. 253 for 6.
After the ball was played, he said, "Oh my God," as if it passed the off stump by a millimeter.
Yes, it's that it was from the middle of the bat. But we have made the point that the keepers can be saying so much. Loose, who's not saying much, but moving in. Short delivery. Munsami doesn't take it as down the leg side. Fielder at long leg. Picking up. Jason Smith. 1 to the total by. Being signaled by umpire Leslie Reefer Jr. So 1 more to the total. 254 for 6. The deficit 106. West Indies A. Can they really push this game all the way to the close of play? Jumping in defenses, Carrie Pierre. But he remains scoreless. He's faced 17 deliveries. Loose in his 16th over. 2 for 77. And Loose will walk back and move in. In fact, he has changed his approach and will come round the wicket. A slip and a gully to Pierre. Goes back and plays in defense. So Loose has come out on day 4 and bowling a lot of short deliveries. A slip, a gully, leg gully, and well, the first delivery to Ali Mohammed wasn't all that short. It jumped on him. And then Pierre, well, he has called for, in the last over, his chest pad. And Loose will move into him. Edge and taken low down. Is that? It's been claimed, yes. The end of Curry Pierre looking to play away a short delivery down into the slip cordon. Couldn't keep it away from the solitary slip who came forward to his left and took it two-handed low down. So the end of Pierre, not troubling the scorers, and West Indies losing their 7th wicket. Short delivery a little wide of him, guiding it, and into the waiting hands of the fielder at slip.
Well, he didn't have to play, but drawn to it, was outside the off stump. He could have left it alone, but very good catch indeed, because it wasn't straightforward. Had to go down low to his left. Claudius.
Good catch indeed. Make that number 13. Just trying to get the catcher. No, that went to the slip fielder. And the end of Pierre. In fact, catch taken by fielder number 13. I think I Brunel. Number 13. Sir Brian. So Sir Brian taking the catch. So Pierre going and being replaced by the left-handed Thomas. So O'Shane Thomas has come in, and well, the end is coming quickly for West Indies. Ali Mohammed retired hurt the very first delivery. Pierre dismissed. Loose to Thomas. Shot down the leg side, wide, too wide. Not called, but well away from the batter. And so with Thomas coming in, Reds, looks like we're going to go home quite early today.
Yes, I think if everything was okay with Ali Muhammad, painkillers, some ice, he probably would have come again. But once you can send Thomas in front of Ali Muhammad not returning, it tells you that maybe he is badly hurt.
Loose to Thomas. Play and a miss outside the off stump as the over comes to an end. A successful one for Tristan Loose. 254 for 7. West Indies A still 106 in deficit.
And now he's picked up his 3rd wicket, and maybe a little surprised that he didn't look to go to Mariki, who probably is one of 2 outstanding bowlers with Sile, but a good card he called.
Indeed, because Loose has done damage, both in terms of inflicting pain and dislodging, picking up the 7th wicket. Subrian bowls to Lane, who's forward, plays square into the offside to Morike, and there's no run. Well, you spoke about Morike, Reds, 15 overs, 3 maidens, 1 for 53. So Ackerman not using him. Subrian to Lane, clipped away, straight to Senokwane at the mid-wicket position. No run. Sele, the other opener, 14 overs, 4 maidens, not for 33. Over the wicket, Subrian to Lane, Lane forward, gets it away from the silly point fielder, but straight to the backward point fielder. And so no run, 254 for 7. He changes his approach. The off-spinner will come round the wicket now. Backward point going a few paces towards the boundary. Slip and silly point. Edge along the ground. Down towards the deep 3rd boundary. Thomas loses his bat and then has to run without it. 2 completed successfully in the end. Wild throw to the non-striker's end, allowing them to complete the 2.
Thomas looks like a young boy who did something naughty. Scampering back. No bat in hand.
256 for 7. Long on posted, long off coming to the conventional position. Subrian to lane. Into the leg stump, clipped away to mid-wicket, straight to the fielder.
Come over and give him the same one.
One delivery left in the over. Subrian decides to go over the wicket. He's not shy of moving from over to round the wicket. Changing for the third time in the over. As leg slip comes in for lane. Slip, leg slip, forward short leg.
Oh!
Lane gets the single, pushes it into the offside to take strike at the beginning of the next over. 256 for 7. West Indies A trail by 103 with 77 overs having been bowled in the innings.
Well, Lane doesn't look like a rabbit at all. He's shaped very well, as if I know you will quickly go to your stats by Roland Cox. I think he's got one decent score. Number 57 on his back, but I don't believe it's that high. But he's the senior partner here.
And he will face up to Loose, who starts a new over. Short, flinching, will fall safely in the backward square leg position. Long leg fielder coming from the boundary to pick it up. Lane didn't look all that comfortable with this particular one. Getting the single and taking the single also.
And wasn't keen for the second.
And in a sense exposing Thomas to the pace of Loose. 258 for 7. A slip and 2 gullies, maybe we can say. Fairly substantial gaps between the 3 of them. Back goes Thomas and quite stylishly pushes it into the offside for a dot ball. 258 for 7.
Solid defense there. Let us see what will be the approach by Thomas. Will he simply defend and allow Lane to negotiate from the other end?
Loose to Thomas, short delivery, looking to swing it away to mid-wicket. Not making contact.
Did I say defend?
Thomas, best of 21 in his 16 first-class matches before this. West Indies A would love to have that type of contribution from him. Short delivery, swung away, but finds the mid-on fielder, Ackerman. Well, to be fair, it wasn't all that short. It was a sort of a length delivery and tugging it with the weight of the back foot, opening up, looking for power, looking to access the onside field. Loose to Thomas. Backs away and gets a full one, but it is well outside of leg stump, missing. And
interesting, that pass between outside the leg stump and between the batsman and the keeper. You were looking to get on the onside or get out of the way.
Loose to Thomas. Plays defensively. Back to the bowler to bring the over to an end. The 78th of the innings. West Indies A 258 for 7. The lead, the deficit, 102.
And if you've just joined the coverage, we can tell you that the first delivery, Ali Muhammad was struck on the right glove and was in great pain straight away, bending over, clutching the right hand with the left glove. Eventually, the physio came on and they walked off, and we don't know whether he will return. The next batsman, Pierre, was well caught a slip off the bowling of Loose, so that's why we are 258 for 7.
Lane in strike to Subrian. Goes back, and ball ending up in the slip. Ackerman firing at the stumps. Missing. 258 for 7. So
he didn't quite miss. He hit Musami.
Missed the stumps, but finding Lane is lofting that. That's gone high and long over long on. 6. A meaty blow from Johan Lane. Lofting that lustily out of a long on for 6. Showing that, well, he knows a thing or two about batting. Taking the total to 264.
Probably heard you saying only 21.
This time he's gone again. It's gone over to mid-wicket. The fielder is coming under it and takes the catch. So Lane, 6 and out here for him. Looking to go aerial once again. Miscuing and hitting that down the throat of, it looks like Senokwane that has taken that. So the end of Johan Lane. Caught Senokwane. Bowled Subrian. He's gone for 12. The 8th wicket going down. 264 for 8.
So technically, maybe you could say 264 for 9. Let's see who is in fact coming out.
That's number 13, O.J. Shields.
Yes. So no Ali Muhammad is going to reappear. And the end is definitely near.
Indeed, as we see once again the dismissal of Lane. Slim figure of Senokwane settling nicely and taking the catch. Well, we were just beginning to be impressed by Lane's hitting. Nice clean hit the previous delivery. And just being a little too aggressive.
As I say, the Mobby got a little too sweet. It was a lovely, the original shot over long on, and he was trying to clear mid-wicket and hit it towards the scoreboard. It had the height but didn't have the length.
The deficit 96. But West Indies A, they've only got 1 wicket left effectively. With the injury to Ali Mohammed, unlikely that he is going to come back in the middle. So this is practically the last pair, as Subrian will move into Shields. Slip, silly point and forward short leg. Full toss and punched away into the offside. For a single, Moreke picking that up. So just the one. A little surprising that Shields should just tap such a juicy full toss into the offside. Number 11, your opportunity to enjoy yourself and hit a boundary.
Maybe shocked and surprised by the full toss.
Very tamely played for a single. Thomas, the left-hander, comes in to strike. 265 for 8. Effectively for 9. As long off, long on being posted. deep square leg as well. I don't think Thomas will be tapping full tosses. Subrian ensuring that the square leg fielder is right on the boundary. Comes into Thomas, who's defending, struck on the pad and given. The end of Ocean Thomas, who walks away. We think that might be the end of the game. Unlikely that Ali Mohammed will come out. No, in fact, he is coming out. Is he coming out?
Puts on his helmet.
Yeah, it looks like he is coming out. The South African A players in a bit of a huddle celebrating. Is he coming out? Yes, looks like he's putting on his helmet beyond the boundary. Is he coming out? Yes, he is. So the game continues.
Well, obviously a very tough character, because a softer person would have simply said to the coach, you know, too much of pain, can't go out. Kind of Roy Fredericks at Perth got hit in the head, and well, there was lots of physio. Yeah, Dennis Waite was there, and somebody suggested that he go off, and he says, no way, I'm going to stay.
And coming back in the same type of mold and character is Ali Mohammed, having been struck on the right hand. The very first ball of the day, a delivery from loose. So attention from the physio, ice, magic spray, attention proving to be effective, temporary relief, but enough for Ali Mohammed to come back.
The doctor would have checked to see if there was any pain by being gentle and pressing the hand. Ice plus ice, and then of course the magical spray.
So he's going to face, and it's going to be Subrian, who has picked up 2 wickets in the over and has actually picked up his 5th wicket, the wicket of Thomas, 5 for 82. Back goes Ali Mohammed, looking to turn it away and into the hands of the short leg fielder, not coming from the bat. So the end of the over, double success for Prenelin Subrian, who walks away with the figures of 30 overs, 7 middens, 5 for 82.
I'll tell you a little story about the magic spray. I might have told you before, so please stop me. It's Melbourne, and Dujon gets hit on the hand, and Dennis Waite grabs his material, gets out in the middle, spray, and Dujon puts on the gloves, looks like he's recovered. When Dennis Waite got back, it was an air freshener, not the magic spray.
Yeah. It happens. Loose will now bowl to Shields as he comes back. So Loose with a best of 5 for 90 in his lone game at this level, bowls short to Shields, who almost ducked into that as that went low to Munsami. Deficit still 95. 5 for 82 Subrian, 3 for 78 now Loose. So the use of them by Ackerman proving successful. West Indies with the final pair at the crease, backing away Shields, inside edge, down to fine leg. And will get the single, his second run. The total going to 266 for 9. Ali Mohammed comes in strike, and question is, Reds, how is he going to play?
Or what length Loose is going to bowl?
Well, of course, the bowling that he receives will determine how he plays to some extent.
Yeah.
But we saw him yesterday very aggressive, attacking the short deliveries, not afraid to hook, and therefore there are 3 men on the onside boundary for him. Long leg, backward square leg, let's say fine leg, backward square leg, and deep square leg. Loose to Ali Mohammed, short, hooked away, out towards, over the boundary, and 6 into the Johnson Charles stand. Well, the question answered immediately. I'm going to continue to be a happy hooker.
Yes, it was short, but badly lined, and Mohammed nicely planted and hitting it cleanly. So where there's life, there's hope. And, he came out this morning, 34 off 36 with 3 fours. So he continues to be aggressive.
All-terrain vehicles encircling the ground, loose to Mohammed. Mohammed bowled inside edge. Oh, the end of Mohammed, the end of the innings. West Indies A, all out for 272. And so South Africa A getting victory by an innings and 87 runs. Or is it 88? 272 all out. West Indies A, so South Africa getting a comprehensive victory by an innings and 88 runs. And day 4 Reds, not a lot of action at all. The 4 wickets going down quite quickly indeed.
Yeah, and you were offering to change the commentator. It would be my shortest spell in my life. It would be a spell of 2 balls. So I told you, keep going.
272 West Indies A after resuming on 251 for 6. So the wickets going down quickly. Those of Carrie Pierre caught Subrian bowl loose for a duck. Johan Lane caught Senokwane bowl Subrian 12. Ocean Thomas LBW Subrian no score. And Ali Mohammed, after being hit first ball on the hand by loose, coming back and smashing him for a 6, and then the next ball being bowled inside edge for 40. So 79.4 overs, 272 all out, and a case where the West Indies A Reds, when we came in, we thought that it would have been an early end to the action on day 4 as the players exchange pleasantries as they shake hands with each other, the match officials as well. So just the 34 minutes of play on day 4, a comprehensive victory by South Africa.
Yes, probably we didn't expect it to be this early, but the first delivery of the day maybe set the tone for what was going to happen to an early finish. I think the fact that they actually scored 32 more runs than they did in the first innings just tells you that the 240, I think they lost this game in the first day.
Yes, and let's do a recap, Red. So 240, West Indies not starting off well after South Africa won the toss. You reckon that's where it was lost?
Yes, definitely. Because South Africa had all the time in the world, and they batted well. I mean, 600 is 600, and it was only a matter of time before they had gone on to win.
Indeed, 600 on the back of that double century by their captain Ackerman. That really put West Indies out of the game. A huge deficit of 360 on the second innings. And of course, therefore, it required that West Indies put up a better show in the second innings. But we didn't see that. They haven't done that much better in the second innings. 272 playing 240 in the first innings.
And we can start looking at the next 4 day. Warrican captain.
So overall, Reds, you think the South Africa A team would go away very happy, but some concerns there for West Indies A?
Oh, definitely. And Test 2 Warwican captain, Braffett Anderson, Andrew, who's coming from England, Atenas Campbell, Graves, Imlach, Shama Joseph, Jonathan Lane, Kemal Savory, O.J. Seals, and we'll have to wait to hear the report on Tyson.
Yes, so a number of changes there. So sort of a new cast for West Indies A, but they will have to play a lot better than this version of West Indies A.
They have to bowl better and bat better.
Okay, well, let's recap for you the final innings of this match. Unofficial Test Day 4, 272. And in that effort, we had Mikael Louis, who got 34, Kevlin Anderson 52, Atenes 49, 42 Ali Mohammed, and Hodge getting 38. In the bowling, Okushle Sele, 14 overs, no maidens, not 4 maidens, correction, not for 33. Shepo Moreke, 15 overs, 3 maidens, 1 for 53. Jason Smith, 3 overs, 1 maiden, not for 12. And the main wicket takers, in fact, taking 9 between them. Tristan Luce, 17.4 overs, 3 maidens, 4 for 85. And Prenilan Subrian, the off-spinner, 30 overs, 7 maidens, 5 for 82. And an interesting note, a spinner at the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground being the key person to bring his side home. The off-spinner picking up 5 on day 4. So 272 for all. West Indies A falling short overall by an innings and 88. So, final thoughts from you, Reds, as we wrap up.
You mentioned the spinner. But 2019, it was a spinner Mirage who also took the wickets.
Indeed. I think it was the last test match that we had here. Yes.
Including a hat-trick.
Keshav Maharaj picking up a hat-trick as West Indies senior team went down against the Proteas. So, time for us to say goodbye on behalf of the entire team. Reds Pereira, Jamal James, who unfortunately we were not able to have to get a say on because of the truncated day 4. We thank him, Reds. We thank you, Roland Cox, our statistician, our efficient scorer, Dylan, and the entire team of Technical Productions. We thank everybody at Cricket 360.
We are back here again when?
Indeed, we are back for Game 2, Unofficial Test 2, West Indies A versus South Africa A, happening on Sunday, June 8th, and that comes off at 10 a.m. local time. So on behalf of the entire team, Claudius Emmanuel saying good day from the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground.
Shay, West Indies women taking the first straight this summer at home against South Africa. You know once our first ball's bowled, it's game on. Full of energy from the start.
For real, Haley. The fans already lining up. Flags waving, drums beating. Because when we home, we full of energy. Let me add in quote Sammy real quick. See what the vibe is.
Shay, Skipper, I was just about to call you. This will be a summer to remember. Action package with T20s, ODIs, and Test cricket. The tickets are now available. We bring in the fire, and the fans bring in the vibes. But we're missing that extra spark. Hold on, I know who to call.
Coachman Sammy, you know I'm always ready. But where's he play?
Teja, we heard you're the man with the vibes for this summer home series. We need a fire to light up this whole region.
Hi, I'm Roston Chase, the new West Indies Test captain. It's a great privilege and honor to continue this legacy of West Indies cricket. The team's first assignment under my leadership will be against Australia in the Full of Energy Men's Home Series, with 3 matches being played in Barbados, Grenada, and then Jamaica. So Maroon fans, please come out and support. We need your energy, we need your vibes. Get your tickets at windiescricket.com.